Hey friends, welcome back to Doc Explain This, the show where we break down health, diagnosis, and medical jargon into everyday language. I am your host, Dr. T, and today we are pulling over for a quick pit stop. So, no heavy medical talk, just a quick check-in between you and me. It's been amazing sharing these first episodes with you. Whether you've been here from day one or you just found the show, I just want to say a big thank you to you for pressing play, listening, sharing, telling a friend or the other, liking, subscribing. Wow, the fact that you're here means you're already taking steps towards understanding your health better. And that in itself is worth celebrating. Please give yourself a round of applause. You are doing very, very well. So far, we've talked about how to approach your health, being proactive about your health. We've also spoken about blood pressure. I explained the system, how it worked. I used the concept of a building's plumbing system to explain what blood pressure in itself is, and also explained all the other things that we need to watch out for and why blood pressure is very, very important. I focused more on high blood pressure. Eventually, I'll get to talk about low blood pressure if you stick around. But yeah, so far, that's what we've discussed. And if you missed any of those episodes, they're still up, and I think they'll give you a solid foundation for what's coming next. Now, to the very exciting part of this pit stop, a few people actually left comments and also questions on our YouTube page, and I am so excited. I've been looking forward to an opportunity to actually go deeper. Some of them I've already addressed in the comment section, but I think it's important that I actually just shed more light on them. So I remember the first episode that I actually asked about why people generally don't like going to hospitals, and I'm glad that some people actually answered. So someone said, I think people don't like going to hospitals because doctors always find something. And at that point I was like, okay, doctors always find something, but is it not better for us to find something early and be able to intervene than for you to come when it's already too late? And it was just interesting. Because to be fair, when you're going to the hospital, I think you should be open-minded. It doesn't have to always be negative. And even if it's negative, leave room for the fact that it might just be the right amount of negative that will turn your life or your situation around. I remember the first episode I spoke about the fact that early intervention is a major thing. It's a big deal for us. And we always look forward to that because it makes our work easier, and it also improves the patient's general prognosis, so the outcome of the patient's life. So it's important. So another person commented and said, thanks for this movement, but in my opinion, I think most people are nonchalant about their health. Some might even be sick and not realize until there's an emergency. Now, I remember when I first saw this comment, I was held aback because at the back of my head, I'm like, really? People do not think their health is as important? Because if anything happens to you, like even on a day that you have a very, very bad headache, let's not even get into like really, really terrible symptoms or diseases, but like a really, really bad headache, you can't do anything. For people that have migraines, like really bad migraines, you can't even step out of your room. You just want to be in a dark environment. So every other thing you might have planned in one way, form, or capacity has to take a chill pill. I believe if you're listening to this podcast that you actually value your health. And if you know people around you that don't take it seriously, please be sharing this podcast with them because they need a change of mind, they need a change of attitude. It is so important. Your health is nothing to be joked with. It is who you are. If your body breaks down, you cannot achieve anything And you'll be surprised that all the problems that you think you have to solve before you attend to your health, when you are gone, somebody else will pick it up and do something about it, or they keep passing it on. See, the problems are endless, but your life is very important. Choose your battles. Focus on your health. You cannot achieve outside of your body. So please, pay attention to your health. All this, I'll push it to the back burner. I'll do it when I can. I'll do this, I'll do that. Take it easy. Focus on the right things. Okay. So, on our last episode where we talked about blood pressure, we had 2 questions. Not even comments, 2 questions. So, the first person said, Doc, can you please on your next episode explain cholesterol and heart diseases? Many people think only overweight people get it. Please, number 1, if you are listening to this podcast, whether someone sent it to you or you found it randomly, please, I need you to come to the side of life that does not focus on what other people are doing. Now, people thinking that only overweight people have high cholesterol is a very wrong thought line. Yes, people that are overweight have a higher risk of having high cholesterol, but your outward appearance is not the only factor. There are people that are slim, healthy looking, that actually have high cholesterol. Now, how they got to that point is none of your business. But it is possible for both sides. It's not only people that are overweight or obese that have a high likelihood of having certain kind of illnesses like high blood pressure, diabetes, other diseases. Yes, they have a higher risk, but they are not the only ones that we take into consideration. So even you that you are slim, my sister, if you've not done a blood test to clear you of having high cholesterol or high blood sugar or all those other things, you are not in the clear. So don't judge people by their appearance. Now, this particular question, this particular person also wants me to explain the relationship between cholesterol and heart disease. Now, this is going to be a very long one, and I promise you, I'm making plans. I am making plans to tackle this particular topic, and it will come sooner than you expect because I believe there's a lot of information to actually unpack. So, in a nutshell, though, I would just say this, that having high cholesterol predisposes you to, or can cause you to have heart diseases. And I would just say this way, that remember the analogy I gave about the plumbing system and how sometimes some dirt can build up on the pipes and they clog the pipes. Now, one of it is cholesterol. But don't worry, I'll go into details very soon in another episode. Now, the second question says, quick question, when will you say it's the best time to check your blood pressure, morning or before bed? Well, there's no hard or fast rule about it. The most important thing in checking blood pressure is that you have to be in an upright position for at least 5 minutes before it's done. So whether it's in the morning or at night, afternoon, anytime really, we just emphasize the fact that you have to be in an upright position for 5 minutes. So there's no preference for morning or night. Now, in certain cases, with patients that have certain conditions, we are looking for other pointers. So we might decide to check during the morning or at night. But in general, for everybody, the rule is anytime, just make sure that you've been seated in an upright position for at least 5 minutes before checking your blood pressure. Wow, I am just so excited and happy that people actually have comments and questions, and I'm looking forward to more. I've always emphasized in all the episodes, please send in your questions. If you don't know where to send them in, if you feel like you can post them on our YouTube page. If you have preference for Instagram, we actually have an Instagram page which is doc_explain this on Instagram. Or if you rather send us an email, please send it to docexplainthis@gmail.com. I am curious. I want to hear all your feedback. I want to hear all your questions, and I'm eager to help you as much as I possibly can. Making this podcast has actually taught me that simplifying medical info is actually harder than it sounds. I catch myself wanting to dive into every detail, but then I remember you don't need the whole textbook. You just need parts that matter for everyday life. So for every episode, I always ask myself, if I were explaining this to a family member or a friend, what would I say first? So that's the filter I'm using, and I think it's working. And it also gives me the opportunity to actually get to know more people. All right, I can't let you leave this pit stop without a quick health boost. So today, I would like to encourage you to pick one small health habit to focus on for the next 7 days. Just one. It could be drinking a full glass of water first in the morning, taking a 10-minute walk after lunch, or finally booking that checkup you've been avoiding. Small steps stack up, people, and they are way easier to stick with than big all or nothing changes. Now, I want to make sure that Doc Explain This is actually answering your questions. So send me your health topics, and to make things even more interesting, you can ask me saying, can you explain so and so, like I'm 5? And please, let's even get talking on some of the myths that you might have heard, things that you've heard that you're not sure if they're actually true, but people have made it seem true when it comes to your health. I'm ready to help you demystify all of them, so please come with your questions. Now, in the next episode, we'll be diving into diabetes. So we'll be talking about what diabetes is, what is actual blood sugar, what does it mean, like all the details. How can someone that seemingly was okay develop diabetes? What does it mean to be pre-diabetic? All of that, and of course the diseases, the conditions or illnesses that can come as a result of diabetes. Why is it as bad as people make it to be? So we'll be talking about all of that in the next episode. So that is it for our quick pit stop. Thank you for taking a moment to check in with me. Now let's get back on the road toward better health, one episode at a time. Bye.